What's up, guys? Welcome back to another MCOC Alliance War, and taking a look at the defenders that will be facing off. Looking at my path, I was going to bring Hyperion, but I saw 1, 2, 3 total mystics on my path, and I was like, I don't really have a place for him, so decided on somebody else. First off, went ahead and ranked up Iceman, who I tried not to use Catalyst on. That's why I completed 5.2 100%, but that didn't work out for me, so went ahead and ranked him up using Catalyst and go over to pick my team. I wanted to bring in Iron Man for the regen, of course Iceman for the ice armor and the cold snap, and then wasn't too sure about the third person. Was thinking Ghost Rider, and I was like, maybe Vision instead, but ultimately I settled on the Hood and pick my team and go in to face off, start my path. So taking the same path as I did in the last war, going up the middle and to the left, and we have a Mystic up first. And I was thinking it might be a Juggernaut or Mordo, and close with the first one. It's an Unstoppable Colossus. Ended up messing up there, got intercepted. But aside from that, I think that was the only big mistake of the fight. Of course, he has the... Or I messed up there. Yeah, I came up a little short on my combo before firing off that second special, so kind of wasted that. I know he has Strike Back, but I'm not too worried about baiting out his specials, so I don't mind pushing him, using a special to push him to level 2 power. So coming up, once I get 2 bars of power, I am going to fire that off, just because I want that armor break. Iron Man does so much damage when he has the armor break, but yeah, I kind of want him to have as little power as possible right after he does his special. But I think this is going to push, yeah, so now he has no power. Fire off that special. And yeah, do decent amount of damage. He did get that armor up, so didn't do as much damage as I'd hope. And yeah, not much to say about this fight, to be honest. It is long because I do have to worry about that Unstoppable, and he does have a lot of health. These nodes have plus 200% health, which is something I want to talk about because we are in tier 1 right now. If you watched the last war, it said that we were in tier 2, and the nodes are the exact same, so we actually fought tier 1 nodes but got rewards for tier 2, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's not the first time that has happened to us. Coming up here, I saw that it was unblockable first. I initially thought that maybe it would be a Nightcrawler, but when I saw unblockable first, then I was thinking that it would be Cyclops, so brought in Iron Man, and it ended up being Iceman. So good thing, because the cold snap would have done so much damage. And as you saw, I did get that regen, good amount of regen, and able to finish the fight off there with the second special. And the next node was blank, so this is going to be the third fight, and I see that it is a Mystic. Thinking that it's going to be a Mordo, so I I didn't pay attention to that limber down there, the 0.2 seconds, and that's gonna cost me some health later on in the fight. Actually, I don't think it's this fight, it's the next one, so spoiler alert, I don't take him down with Iron Man. Doing okay though. Trying to think what ends up happening, but yeah, so I do go ahead and I'm parrying away. Just messed up there. Was expecting him to come in, was going to try to get a parry, but it didn't work out. Pushed him to his second special. Don't know what I was thinking there, because he was still unstoppable when I did that. And right there, kind of messed me up there. I was hoping to get some hits in with the armor up, but didn't because of the limber. And yeah, messed up again there, backing up. Hit so hard, overpowered the regen that I had going on. This was only a rank 3 Juggernaut, but he had like 70 something thousand health. So yes, I came in with the hood, hoping to fire off some second specials, and I figured that I would have been able to get the full damage of that in, but that wasn't the case, because even though the hex did apply, it still didn't. It still counted as unstoppable when he took the initial hit, so he was able to block the rest of it. And right now, just trying to bait out that special. Don't want to get too much dexterity, because he does have that Mystic Dispersion, and ended up getting pushed to 3 bars of power, which I didn't want, but I really would have liked to just keep doing the second special, just because I prefer having the hex on him. And he is, what is he? Yeah, he's bleed immune, so the third special isn't going to do much, because that's the big part of the damage of the third special is the bleed. And you see right there, Limber is taking reducing the stun so much, so it's not really being effective. And it's coming up soon where I stun him, I do a parry, and then I try to hit, but it doesn't work out. Yeah, right there. So ended up taking a 4-hit combo there, getting backed up. Not looking good. Since I had that hex on him, the unstoppable didn't trigger, so I was able to back him up a little bit, but there you go, unstoppable again. And backed into the corner, just fire off the second special, and that messed me up right there. He missed at the wrong time. I was trying to go for a parry, and yeah, he ended up missing instead of getting parried. So come back in with Iceman. Not much left on Juggernauts, and fight's over in 10 hits. So coming up to the final. Nope, this isn't the final fight. All right, got a little ahead of myself. It's a Cosmic, so of course it's Hyperion. They do have the. I believe it was 20-second power drain, so if not for that, then I would have just held on to my special attacks until I got to the third special, and then whenever he did his L3, then I would have fired off mine right after that, just to reapply the cold snap, or not the cold, yeah, reapply the cold snap, but also reapply my ice armor. So not too worried about pushing him to the third special, just because I know I'm only gonna take 5% damage on this. So come out, wasn't sure if he was going to charge in or not, so just stood up swinging just in case, but he ended up backing up and got caught there, took a lot of damage. That's going to be very costly and for the next fight. So went ahead and fired off my first special right before the timer wore off, and I should have did a heavy attack there when I had him stunned, because it would have done more damage for the frostbite charges that I had on him. But yeah, just wasn't thinking about it the first time. I did it there, but I only had like one frostbite on him, so not much damage. And you'll notice that he triggered the regen, and I didn't mean for him to do that, but it turned out to be pretty good. I should have did it possibly the first time, because now he doesn't have that huge power gain anymore. He won't start generating any charges until that cooldown, so he becomes a lot easier. Or I wouldn't say a lot easier, but he is yeah, I'd say he's a lot easier to fight when he doesn't have that constant power gain going on. Don't have to bait as many specials. And yeah, able to finish off the fight before he got any more power gain. So here we are, the final fight of my path, final fight for me of this war. And see that he's bleed immune, so that was the other reason about bringing Iceman, because I was going to take this path, was going to need a bleed immune champ. Can't remember who I used last time, but I did take the same path and needed bleed immunity. And you see here, I'm not really worried about pushing to that third bar of power. But what I don't like about fighting him is when you stand up, he can charge in, and you know, you can't back away right away. So if he charges in and then decides to do a heavy attack right after that, you're pretty much screwed. End up taking a big chunk of damage, but luckily that didn't happen. Though I did waste a special attack, and yeah. So I did have my ice armor back, so I'm alright with taking this third special. But coming out of here, fire off my first special just because I wasn't sure if he's going to charge in or not, and he happened to this time. And trying to land a heavy there, and he must have stand your ground maxed out because he resisted both of those. I can't remember if that happens again or not, but yeah, coming up, okay, he's got that. Okay, landed a heavy there. And coming out, I'm going to fire off my third special, but since I'm in assassin range, he must have assassin. You see that I didn't have the countdown for my ice armor anymore, so that is gone for the rest of the fight. I'm actually not sure why the third special won't bring it back anyways, but that's just how it works for him. So if I take another hit, the fight's pretty much over. And yeah, baited out that special, looking at how much time is left. Feel like I can finish this off, and he dashed back, got the power gain, and I was expecting him to hold block, but he didn't, so tried to dash in and ended up getting hit. So we were down by 2% there. We ended up going up by a little over 1%, but it didn't matter. They got the boss kill, so they take the victory. So that's going to do it for this war. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.